So it's absolutely amazing. I love it. Okay, so back to the recipe.
We're going to stir in the chicken and the enchilada sauce.
Do you want me to work on this chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Cindy's now going to show you how to carve a chicken.
We are going to come over here and get our chicken ready. We've got a pre-cooked chicken that we cooked in our deep covered baker. Can you see that? This is one of my quick and easy go-to things for dinner when I don't feel like cooking or spending time in the kitchen. You all, I'm sure, are familiar with our deep covered baker. It is a two-piece set to our stoneware. So it's got the same clay on the inside that you're used to, but it's two pieces. You've got the deep bottom, so it's perfect to do casseroles. You can do something like a layered lasagna. You can do side dishes. You can do pork tenderloins. So we've got our 30-minute chicken in here. So I just threw this chicken in the microwave for 30 minutes at my house before I left, put the cover on it, and let it travel in the trunk of my car over here tonight. So now we need to cut this chicken up. And I just wanted to show you this because when they started teaching us how to do this incredible 30-minute chicken, I about went into heart attack mode because I had no idea how to cut up a whole chicken. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to do this at a show in front of all those people. I'm thinking, what a mess. And once you know how to do it, it's really not hard to do. And I always invite guests to come into the kitchen and learn. Because you know what? Most of the guests that come to your shows have no idea. Crystal, I need to borrow a fork from you if I could to steady this. So what we want to do, and this is online. You can do printed directions on Consultant's Corner. Or there's a little video I think you can watch, and that's what I had to do. I had to watch the video the first time. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull your drumsticks and your thighs off, and then we're going to, ooh, this is so juicy and tender. It's just almost falling apart. Then we're going to kind of cut the wings off. You just have to look for that little tendon. There's a little tendon in between the bones, and once you hit that, it'll come off pretty easily. And we're going to just pull the wings and the drumsticks off. We'll go back and cut those up in a minute. And now we're ready to work on the white meat because now we've got everything out of the way that we can just slice. And by the way, this is the chef's knife that I'm using. I grabbed it out of your tool turnabout over there. This is probably one of my favorite knives in the whole line. I just love this chef's knife. And it's perfect. You can do slicing and dicing with it, but you can also cut meats like this. Can y'all tell how juicy this chicken is? Can you see? And most people, when you tell them you're going to cook a chicken in the microwave, they are thinking it's going to be rubbery, it's going to be dried out, it's going to be chewy. This is absolutely delicious. It's so juicy and tender. So I'm going to tell you the two go-to pieces in my book are that grill pan that Crystal just showed you and this deep covered baker. And I love to use them at a show. Now what I would do with this recipe, because I go 30 minutes early to kind of set up and do a little prep work, I would throw this chicken in the microwave in the deep covered baker as soon as I get to the host's house. And by the time the guests are coming in the door, it's done. Okay, so all they need to do is see it sitting in that deep covered baker to be blown away. So you don't have to cook it in front of them or any of that. So I'm going to move back over, I think, over there and finish taking all the rest of the meat off of this and get it diced up. What do we need? 3 cups for our recipe tonight, Crystal?
We need 3 cups.
Okay,
3 cups.
A little thigh there wanting to scoot into the floor. Wanting to jump off the countertop for
And
us.
it's 30 minutes covered, right?
30 minutes uncovered.
Uncovered.
You know, typically when you roast in your oven, you roast uncovered. So for the pork tenderloins and the 30-minute chicken, I definitely do them uncovered and then put the lid on it and let it rest for at least 10 minutes. Because that'll keep the juices in the muscle of the meat. If you cut it right away, a lot of your juice is going to run out. And you can see how much juice is staying in the chicken. Normally, I cut it sooner than 30 to 45 minutes, and a lot more juice comes out. But because this has been sitting, it's really kept the juices in. So it's fine to let it sit for a little while with the lid on it. But you do want chicken to be 160. So if you have our little meat thermometer, 160 is what you want to... the reading you want to get to know that your chicken is fully cooked. Okay, do you need this, or can I move over here and I'll just get it kind of shredded up for you? All right, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
I think that's all she bought.
Okay, we got a mess here on it.
Okay, so in a second when she's done with the chicken, what else are we adding?
The chicken and the enchilada sauce.
Enchilada sauce. Okay, so while she's finishing that up, we're just going to finish grating up the rest of the cheese that we need. Not with that one. Go with this one. Okay, so this is the microplane grater, and then this is the, of course, grater, obviously. So I've already used a little bit of it and already done some of our cheese. And this is just the little measure-all cup. For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, it does do liquids and solids. So this side does the liquids that you can measure, and this side obviously does the solids. Absolutely love this thing. It's actually one of the first things I remember my mom using as a kid with Paper Chef. So we're just going to do a little bit more. Okay. And for those of you that are probably like me and most often go to the store and buy a bag of shredded cheese because it's easy and it's quick, you might change your mind after you use this coarse grater, because it is so simple that all we buy now is block cheese. Because there's so much stuff in, there's so much preservatives and stuff in block cheese or shredded cheese to keep it from clumping together. Let's just not go over what all's in it. It's just not my preference. So we now only keep block cheese, and just real quick we shred up what we need, and the rest of it's in the fridge ready to go whenever I'm ready to use it again. So, okay, so we've got our cheese measured out, we've got our tomatoes. I think that's pretty much everything.
Do you have something you want me to measure this chicken in for you?
Sure, I'll pour out the sauce so you can use it. Sauce, and then she's going to bring over the chicken, and what are we going to need to do after that, Elizabeth?
We're going to bring it to a simmer, and then we're going to add the chips and mix well to coat.
Okay, so, excuse me, we'll just be adding in the chips and the chicken, mix everything together, coat it, and then I think we're just going to put on the cheese.
And top with cheese, bake uncovered, and then we'll sprinkle with cilantro and tomatoes.
Perfect, and that'll be our recipe, and I think that about covers it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here with us and see all this beautiful chicken that Cindy's cut up for us. So hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and have a great evening.